The West Coast is home to some of the best auto enthusiasts, fabricators, and builders in the world. This breed of creative people have dedicated their lives to the automotive aftermarket scene by taking stock and making it rock. My name is Todd Hayden, and this is Legends on the Left.
Franklin Wisniewski loves all things small and Volkswagen related. His shop, Franklin's VW Works in Auburn, Washington, shows the passion he has for all the parts he makes and the cars he repairs or customizes. His collection of vintage parts has made Franklin's VW Works a must visit.
You have a VW shop here, dedicated to VWs, I'm assuming, all dedicated to...
Only air-cooled.
How long have you been in business and owned the shop, and decided to own a shop? And
94 is when we've been basically out of the house, and then we got too big for the house, and we moved to shop to shop to shop, and every time we moved, we get in a bigger shop and a bigger shop. Now we're at 14,000 square feet.
Because you were down the street, weren't you?
Yeah, that was 7,000 square feet, and just outgrew it. We always outgrow everywhere we go.
So what exactly do you do here?
We mainly want to do is just fabricate and just build parts, custom parts to lower the cars, to get better braking, better motors, better stopping power to drive on the streets nowadays. Because everybody drives too fast, Escalades and everything else, getting on your butt, and you can't really stop, or get on the highway or off the highway.
So if someone brought their POS V-dub in from a barn find out in the middle of nowhere and pulled it in here and said, make it right, this is where they could go?
Yes, we do that all the time.
Awesome. How did you get into cars?
My mom used to work at a freaking car auto parts store, and basically I couldn't afford to pay someone to fix my cars, so I had to start working on my own stuff. And my grandfather got me into fabricating and tearing stuff apart, like figure out how to tear it apart. Just tear it apart, figure out how it works, tear it apart. From typewriters to lawnmowers to motorcycles,
What kind of vehicles are you into?
Anything fast.
Like?
Mainly because I'm into Volkswagens, it's all air-cooled. And I do have some Datsuns, some old school imports, I'm more into that than newer cars.
So what's your favorite non-V-dub car that you have right now?
I got the 72 Datsun 510, it's supercharged rotary powered.
So you said that your family kind of helped you get into this. What did they do? What was your first big project that they might have contributed with, helped out, something you remember as a youngin'?
Just when I was like 8, 9, 10, my grandfather was always giving me stuff to work on or help him work on, or he'd buy tools, and he was a welder. He used to work down in a boat company down in California, and he was a welder fabricator, and basically he'd weld my name on all the tools or grind them into the tools, and it was just a big part of my life. But he passed away. But it's all good.
What do you think makes VWs so popular still after all these years?
It's a cult car. It's never going to go away. It's bled into everybody's blood because everybody's like a midlife crisis. They always want a Volkswagen because they went to college or they went to school with a friend that had one. And they always want that memory of going back in time.
What was your first bug? Or Volkswagen?
The Zenith Blue 67 Bug. And basically I'm restoring one. It's in the showroom right now. It's on slow burn, but basically it's getting done.
But it's one to remind you of the past,
Right,
just
correct,
like what
correct,
you
correct.
had
It's
said.
just to bring you back.
Even though you're the owner, you can still play.
Right. What I couldn't do then, I could do now. Yeah.
So everyone who's probably watching this is aware of the car auctions and the ungodly prices that are happening. Is that realistic? So everyone who's probably watching this is aware of the car auctions and the ungodly prices that are happening across the block. What's your take on these exorbitant prices that we see across? Is that realistic?
It hurts the industry, but it helps the industry to keep the cars going, because people that can't afford them will deal with the rusty ones, and the guys that can afford them will deal with the nicer ones. And I like all of them, you know. I don't care if they're old or new, and I'd help anybody with that being a high price or low price.
Is there a stigma now because of that, where it's like someone, you know, might want to get into the Volkswagens and go, I'll never be able to afford something like that.
I hear it all the time, especially on the buses. And it's like they're out, even out of my touch. I can't even get them, you know. 20 years ago, you could buy a 23 window bus for $2,600 to $3,600 and drive it home. Now, a rusty Hulk that's missing 90% of the parts is $8,000 to $12,000. So it's out of touch for anybody.
Yeah.
Besides someone getting a second mortgage on their house to go buy a car.
So are you skirting that question a little bit about your take on the prices going across the...
I like them going up because it makes it knowing that they're not losing value. Mm-hmm. They're only increasing in value because they're getting harder to find.
What kind of parts do you think that they're making or you're making that are improving still after all these years? Because obviously aftermarket, what are some of the styles over the years that you wished maybe would come back?
I don't know about that one, because there's a big genre of all different styles. You know, people want stock, people want slam, people want, you know.
But what's just a good look that is over all the years, whether vehicles you've owned or have rolled through the doors here, that like, man, I forgot about that style. That is just a good look.
I think the old 80s show car stuff is going to start coming back. It seems like people are pulling those things out of the woods and out of the garages and stuff. That I've seen a couple survivor cars, and that's sort of cool to see cars from the 80s come back and be reborn instead of just being repainted.
What is your favorite make and model year of VW? What is your...
My holy grail is a 23 window barn door deluxe, but that's the holy grail car. And for me, it's the car that'll always escape me.
What is your favorite memento that you have automotive-wise that might be sitting on a shelf somewhere that you look at and remember that time?
I got a box of parts, and it came into this little ashtray, and it says "Think Small," and it has a little bug on it. That's being showroom. But that's sort of, never seen one. Think it's really cool to have. But
what vehicle do you regret getting rid of?
50 split window bug. I could name off sheets and sheets of cars, but you know, life goes on, and you look for the next treasure to find.
The everything's for sale thing for the right price.
Right, yeah, pretty much.
If you could build your non-VW dream ride, what would it be?
The 57, 356 Porsche, you know. Coupe would be ideal, but those are getting out of...
In the Volkswagen family, though, I mean...
But still, it's still a German car, yes, correct, but...
I will tell you I lost a bet, though.
What's that?
I just literally lost a bet with you when you said that, because I said to my son this morning, he's going to mention that he's got a full bodysuit tattooed.
Oh, God.
Because not a whole lot of people know that, because you posted pictures, but you haven't, so you would have to know that.
Pretty much. That was after my second divorce. I decided to go through and get a full, pretty much 90% tattooed through my whole body.
Yeah.
That was a 3-year adventure. That was a lot of pain.
So my awkward moment here, I guess, would be is that I've seen him almost naked. I don't know.
Shit, when I went to a tattoo convention, I just wore just a G-string and showed off what I had.
Kind of how you work on vehicles here after hours, right?
No. No. Right.
Okay, I got 5 questions for you. There's 2 choices. There's no right or wrong answers.
Right.
Static or adjustable?
Static's best because you know where the car is sitting at all times. I run most of my cars static.
Okay. Solid or two-tone?
That's a question.
No, it's something you have to answer. It's not questionable. I'm questioning you.
Solid.
Solid. Gas or electric?
Definitely gas.
What octane? Big and fast or low and slow?
Both.
Got to answer one.
And
what's your preference?
Fast, big and fast.
Okay, now I threw this one in because I wanted to really get you, because you have to think carefully about this one. Built or bought?
Built, definitely. But I do buy some, but I change them up to my style. But mainly I like to buy them and then build them, not bought from somebody else and just...
I was thinking about your customers, right?
Oh.
How you're keeping the doors open.
That's fine. But with me, it's like I'd rather build it than buy it. But, sometimes things fall in your lap and you can't let it go.
Oh, yeah. So, final question here. What are some projects? What's around the corner for you? Anything big coming out the doors that you're working on? What's next for Franklin and the shop and you?
Just keep this thing going and keep the ball rolling and find good guys to work for us to keep this thing knocking shit out of the park. I want to start stepping it up. I want more custom things coming in and then just service. Service is okay, pays the bills, but the fabrication and building big cars and big circuit cars is where I want to be.
Anything you're working on though? Any plans for?
I'm a squirrel. I like to carry my nuts and try to fix all of them at the same time, but it takes a little more time to do it that way.
Takes a lot of everything when you do it that way.
Right. I can't just do one at a time. I have to do like 5 at a time.
Yeah, gotcha.
I give everybody a chance. I give them multiple chances and stuff. Two or three guys that volunteer, they just like coming down here and helping, and they love the scene. They love coming in and see what the heck's going on this week,
Yeah.
They want to learn too, but I don't mind paying people. It's just they have to produce. If they can produce what I need, then they can get paid real good money. they're sort of walking around and that. It's like we're talking about. If you see that, go ahead. If you're walking that way, go ahead and put it away. You've seen it 2 or 3 for at least 2 days. It hasn't moved. Go ahead and put it away.
Half the shop's been looking for it, but you know where it is.
Yeah.
It's right there where it's supposed to be.
That's all cool.
So this is your bus?
Yeah.
Your personal bus?
Yeah.
What year is it? Tell me a little bit about it.
It's 69 Australia camper. Picked it up from a previous customer, and I've had it for about a year and a half, and then just slowly fixing it up and straightening new things up on it.
Like what have you improved on this?
Basically, almost everything. From not body and paint, just more of the suspension, motors, and brake system, wheel, tires.
Official Franklin parts underneath, right?
Yeah.
Of course, yes.
That's
Plug. Come on, you got to plug.
that's what we specialize and that's what we like to do. You know.
What actually, I didn't ask you this earlier. What kind of parts do you make?
Narrow trunk suspensions for type 1, type 2, type 3, drop spindles for buses. We try not to use stuff out of house. We try to build everything in-house. That's our main motto. This one has a 2332 ideas on it. And it's about 180, 190 horse in this little bus. Pushes it right on.
Is the interior on this, is this all original or?
Parts of it's original, but most of it's all manufactured from a company out in the UK. It's never been used.
So he did a lot of work to this before you.
Yeah.
Wow.
He brought it to us as a stock bus, stock wheels, stock motors, and we put it all together. But we didn't do a full restoration on it. We just cleaned it up and
To keep it fun, to keep the fun factor.
without making it repairs.
Exactly. Yeah. I like it. It rides really nice. For all the I mean, I haven't rode in a lot of them, but a lot of the buses that I have rode in, maybe a dozen or so, it does ride very nice for that. And like you were talking about, with all of us piled in here, it's still
brand new.
for as low as it is. Yeah, because people are always afraid about that, losing the ride or rubbing tires or. Yeah, and that's a myth. That doesn't happen anymore.
Now with all the suspension upgrades and what everybody's doing nowadays.
Yeah.
We've been doing it since the early 90s. So drop spindles, we created the drop spindles for these buses before everybody else started doing the drop spindles. We created the bigger brake kits and stuff, and we started doing that.
Yeah.
And we had suspension for the buses and the bugs, and then everybody else jumped on board.
Yeah.
But that's the industry.
The nature of the game. Yeah.
You start making something everybody likes, and everybody starts copying it.
Yeah. So I know that you have quite a good group here that's been following us around, filming it with us today. Anyone you'd like to thank in particular for helping?
Alex, Chris, Danny, just everybody.
Yeah.
My fiance.
Yeah.
Someone's driving a green bug that we sort of saved from a.
Nothing like girls driving bugs.
Oh, that's
See, so all those pictures that you've posted on Facebook and all that, I see it. I'm right there. So.
I like to have people come in and hang out and stuff.
Yeah.
But the door's always open, for everybody.
Yeah. It's been fun. It's been a lot of fun. So I appreciate that. Thank you very much.